Wow, look!
Who's that weird looking dude?
Don't you know who he is? He's a superhero from Japan. They call him Ultraman, a warrior of light who uses only his bare fist to fight Godzilla-sized monsters, and he emits a ray of rainbow-colored light energy to finish monsters off.
That doesn't sound heroic at all.
Wait, look! He's about to do something.
Wait, didn't you say he doesn't use weapons?
Hello and welcome back to the KenOhwee Channel. Today I'll be talking about one of the warriors of light from Nebula M78, Ultraman Orb Origin form from the Ultraman Orb Origin Saga series. And yes, you heard me right, I'm calling it Ultraman, not Ultraman. The English language butchered the name. Say it like the Japanese.
Ultraman.
Say it like it's cool, because it is. Say it with me. Ultraman Orb. Yeah, it's okay getting too carried away. I was just kidding, by the way. It's gonna be so tiring if I keep saying Ultraman throughout this video, so we're going back to Ultraman. Looking at his box, you have his artwork at the front. Hey, what happened to using the figures themselves as covers? You have the silver theme color all around with a little rainbow as well, with a circular clear plastic front showing the figure, and at the back of the box you have the highlights of this figure, which are his option parts, molding, and the fact that it's movable. Wow. They really gotta use different words for their marketing. Try articulation, sculpt, accessories. Yes, that sounds more epic, don't you think? Anyway, let's open this figure and find out if he can indeed bring light into the darkness. Don't know what that means, so moving on. And taking a closer look at Ultraman Orb, and no, this rotating display table does not come with this figure, but I got this specifically for this channel. What do you guys think? Isn't it awesome? It rotates my figures now. I'm getting the feeling that I might be the only one excited about this. So moving on. So yes, Ultraman does look really good. He is sculpted and painted very well as expected from S.H Figuarts, although I do have one minor gripe which I'll mention later. Starting from his head, he looks just like what's depicted in the series. You even got texture behind the eyes which adds more depth to the details of his head. Moving down to his color timer, yes, that's actually what it's called. No cool name like Energy Gem or Ultra Energy, or you could even call it Orb. Anyway, I really like this particular chest plate design, and you have the typical red and silver streaks commonly found in Ultraman design throughout this figure, but this form has also a bold black color splash into the design as well. First what I'd like to point out is this color timer, as the softest of touch at the bottom of this will send it flying out even though you already secured it into the hole. This is more of a hassle as these tiny pieces are easily misplaced, and I prefer it to have more grip than this, so please play with caution. Another thing to point out that even though they sculpted the figure well, they molded his ribcage too much forward on this side, which I understand why they did that is because it makes Ultraman look more muscular in his chest or rib area, but because of that, whenever you crunch forward too far, his whole body pops out. And that's because his ab pack doesn't have any joints, and combining the fact that they also have a set-in for his color timer pack, with his protruding ribs and his stiff ab pack, it results in a decapitated Ultraman if you push him too far forward. And it also would cause a little damage to the top of his ribs, which is evident here, but is hidden once Ultraman is back in one piece. I do not know if this was intentional or an accident. Either way, I feel that they could have added a joint to the ab pack or just reduced the bulk of his ribs. That would have helped with the ab crunch as well as minimize the damage done to this figure, but if you can look past those flaws mentioned earlier, this is still one good looking Ultraman. Moving forward to his articulation, he can look up fairly high, which is great for his flying pose. He can look down, left and right. Head does the pivot a little bit. His arm is connected on a ball joint, which gives him plenty of arm movement, as well as a butterfly joint. And I like to note that this joint is concealed by this sleeve, which I thought was a great touch. His arm can move out that far, but you have to tuck in down and inwards his sleeve or his movement will be hindered. His shoulders can do the swivel. He doesn't have a bicep joint, but his elbow can swivel 360, which compensates for that. He has double jointed elbows, wrist does a 360 and move up and down. He has an upper and lower ab cut which allows for plenty of twisting movements on both upper and lower abdomen. He can do the pivots, and also as I mentioned before, he can crunch but not too far, but thanks to the lower ab cut is still a significant amount, and he can arch backwards a lot further. He can do the Bruce Lee splits, thigh cut swivel, kick up, can't kick back, double jointed knees, fit does the 360, move up and down, and pivots. And he also has the twinkle toes. So even though he can't crunch forward that much, there's still a great amount of articulation given to this figure, and S.H Figuarts really didn't lie about the fact that this figure is indeed movable. Moving on to his armory, he comes with 4 extra pairs of hands and his orb caliber. So starting with his hands, he already comes with his fisted hands, you have his relaxed hands, his open-handed hands more in action, karate chop hands for his finishing move or flying away move, and also hands to hold his orb caliber. So let's take a look at that weapon. Kinda resembles the Denkamen sword a little, where you have the 4 elements going around this case. It represents earth, wind, fire and water. The sword is sculpted and painted very well, but sadly this doesn't rotate like in the show, and it also comes with an additional accessory where it doesn't show those elements glowing, and to replace them simply push the disc out like pressing a button from the back, and just take this piece out and align the pegs and push it back, and you have the orb caliber without the glowing elements. He also comes with a red color timer if you want your Ultraman in a weakened state, and as you saw earlier, to replace it simply take this piece out and replace it with the red one, and no, it's not any tighter than the blue one. Overall, there's enough accessories for this figure, although I would have liked some effects maybe for his finishing move, but I guess you have to get the Spacem Zeporium for those effects, or maybe some element effects shooting out from his weapon, but what we get is good enough. And here's a height comparison with the Ultra Egg Ultraman, S.H Figuarts Spider-Man, and also a Marvel Legends figure. So, in summary, despite the few issues I highlighted earlier, I still think that this is a great figure to have. It is well sculpted, painted, and he has sufficient accessories which makes this figure stay true to what's depicted in the series. If you are a fan of the Ultraman series or this Ultraman design, then this figure will not disappoint. That pretty much concludes today's figure talk. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, that would be amazing and I'd really appreciate it. What do you think of the Ultraman Orb design? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd really like to hear it. Share it with me, share it with the world, and once again I hope you guys are embracing the innate Ultraman within you and having fun. And as always, thank you guys very much for tuning in and for your support. Just want to say you guys have been amazing. Have a great week everyone, and I'll see you guys at the next video.
Click here to enjoy more videos.